Saturday. I'm Carissa Wiley from sprinkledwithglitter.com, and I'm so glad that you are all here, whether you're joining me live and you're chatting along in the live chat or you're watching me on replay. I am so thankful that you're here, and I have a treat planned for you today. If you do not know, today is August 9th, and do we all know what the 9th of the month is? The 9th of the month is Concord 9th's release. Every single month they release their new products on the 9th, and I have them all here in the studio, and I'm going to create with some of them today. But it's not only that. All this month, Concord 9th is celebrating their 10th birthday, and they have so generously sponsored some giveaways for all of you, and so stick around for that information. I'm so excited to create with these products today. I thought about having like a pre-recorded video, and honestly, this week has just been crazy, and it was just easier for me to go live, and I know you all love this, and I love being here with you, so I just thought we would do this live instead. Yes, it is the 9th every month, Kathy. So you can always count at 9 a.m. Mountain Time on the 9th of every month is when the new Concord 9th releases go live. And Anne says C9 makes the best products. I do love their products, and I love their colors as well. Erica's here. Hi. Thanks for joining. For all of those who are watching either here live with me or if you're watching on the replay, if you have not already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification, because the bell notification will make sure that you get notified every time I go live, every time I post a video, or every time I post something here on YouTube. Also, make sure you're following me over at Instagram because I do updates there, and you get a little glimpse into my personal life, and I have that link below. For all of today's products, I have them linked in the YouTube description. I will be using a little smidge from the Christina Werner release as well. So all of the products that I'm using are linked in the YouTube description, so you can shop those right now as we chat, as we craft, and I really appreciate you using those links. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and for the giveaway, I have 3 giveaways, but we're going to go through them here in just a moment. I'm kind of just reading through. Aline says, happy birthday to Concord 9th. I agree. Already subscribed, love your content, says Jamie. Thank you all for being here. So many great items made their way into my cart this morning, says Winnie. And Carmen says, show Carissa some love and be sure to give her a thumbs up. So whether you're watching live or on the replay, you can give that thumbs up and it helps me out. Aaron loved the live with Mr. Glitter. I agree. He is such a good sport. And you know what? He always does such a good job, and I honestly do not coach him ahead of time. What you see is what you get. It is not staged. That is just him coming in here and being around it a little bit, teaching. He helped me, assisted me in teaching a couple of live events once, and I think that got his feet a little bit wet. So 3 giveaways. 2 giveaways are going to be done here live on this live stream, and you have to be present to win. So there's only a couple of stipulations in the live giveaways. The stipulations are that you must be 18 or older, because I am not comfortable with minors sharing their information. Also, when you click over to the Google form to enter this giveaway, I do not share that information with anybody. That is just for my records only. And honestly, I hardly ever even look back at it. I usually just delete it. So 2 $50 giveaways, digital gift card codes from Concord 9th during the live stream today. So you have to be present to win, and you have to be 18 or older. Those are the only stipulations. To enter to win, you're going to go over and fill out the form. I'm sorry, I thought that was the form one, but it is not. Fill out the form at Google, on the Google form in the YouTube description below, to be entered to win. And at the end of this live stream, I'm going to pick 2 random numbers, pull those from the forms, the Google forms that you filled out, and 2 of you will win a $50 digital gift card code each. Isn't that fun? Concord 9th is so generous, and they're really going over the top for their birthday month, and I'm so excited. Now, If you missed this live, but you're watching on the replay, don't worry. I have something for you too this day. What you can do, let me check the date. It's the 9th. So I'm going to give you until Wednesday, August 13th at midnight Pacific time. You're going to leave a comment in the comments section and just tell me what is your favorite new Concord 9th product. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like about this. And I'm going to pick someone at random. You have to leave the comments by midnight on August 13th. And you will win the random winner will win one more $50 digital gift card code. Isn't that so awesome? They have been so generous and just really love Greg, Lindsay, Jen, and all the team over at Concord 9th. They are so much fun. And I get a sneak peek of the September release extra early, and I'm really excited about that. So Mr. Glitter rocked the shaker card. Mr. Glitter is awesome. You guys are his biggest fan, I promise you. And so he really appreciates all the love. In fact, he's been going back to last week's live and checking all the comments to see what everybody says. So let's get down to the desk, shall we? This is the color palette that I have picked for today. We are going birthday theme. And so I really wanted to pick something that was very true to me, felt very Concord 9th. And also that just, elicits happy. You know what I mean? Happy. So we have watermelon, nectar, lemongrass, sea glass, juniper, tide pool, and wild berry. So these are the colors that I'm going to be using for the card project today. And I'm going to be using the brand new Accordion base die set. So this one here. And there are two products that were released that were kind of designed to go with this. Now you could use your own elements with this accordion base. I think you'll see that as we bring it to life. But there were two product collections in this release that were specifically designed to go with it. And number one is the Accordion birthday dies and coordinating stamp set. And that's the one we're going to use today. But in addition, if you don't want to do a birthday theme, I'll just walk you through the products, and these are all linked below. Then you can pick up the Accordion Woodland dies. And that makes a more like woodland scene. There are trees and a fox and some mushrooms. So you can make this accordion set in this theme instead if you want. Now this is one that I cannot wait to create with. And it may seem like maybe you wouldn't think that this would be the first one that I would like gravitate towards, but this is a lot of stamping. And honestly, lately I'm so into stamping and I can't wait to do this. So you can actually create these cards with this floral. This is called the Sentimental Floral Stamp Set. You can actually create this with stamps, or you can create it with dies, and then there's these square sentiments that go in the center. Super easy, but you could bring in a lot of different colors, and I think this will be fun to play with. Now, continuing on the birthday theme for this month, Party Time Turnabout Stamp Set. So there is a Turnabout stamp set, which is up here. There is the Celebrate stamp, which there is no, here it is. So you can actually stamp it in two sections and create a dual-toned stamp sentiment there. And then, of course, there is a die set as well that coordinates with this. And we did a turnabout here on one of my live streams just a few weeks ago. So if you're not familiar with how to do that, go back and look for the cherry card that we did a couple weeks ago. We used a turnabout stamp. This is the Curio dies. This is a lot of fun. Creates a little curio. You can make it like birthday themed or like plant themed. There's probably like a little cake and some teacups. So that's kind of fun to die cut and fill as you wish. And let me show you the examples on the back here, all of that. So you get that with the bundle there. These are available in bundles or in stamp and die separately. This is the Fall Favors box dies and coordinating stamp set. These are really fun because they create these fun, like kind of hexagonal favor boxes, and you can create them to be pumpkins, apples, acorns, or even like a little planter. And then of course there are the extras dies, which gives you a few extras so you can run all these through at once, which I think is so much fun, and the coordinating stamp set for that. And then we're back to this. Now, I have Christina Werner's entire release here, and I have like the link to it below. But what I'm going to use today is the Wood Lines background stamp. Now, if there's one thing that I have used over and over again from the Christina Werner releases, there's a couple of things. The big word ones, which I used recently. We did a baby card recently with that. But also the background stamps, and the diagonal lines or the diagonal stripes background stamp has been one of my favorites to use from her release. And I use it over and over again. Today, we're going to use this Wood Lines, which is brand new. So now that we've been through that, I did do a little bit of die cutting ahead of time. Now I saved some of it to do with you because I want to make sure that we're all clear, that everybody knows what we're doing, and that, you know, so I did the basic die cutting, but the things that maybe you have some questions on, don't forget, if you have a question today, type the word question in all caps and then type your question in normal font behind that. And I will try to get to those as I'm creating. But if you had questions, the stuff that I thought might be questionable, or maybe how do you do that, I saved to do live with you. So I have lots of balloons and presents and streamers cut out of all of those colors that I showed you ahead of time. And then I've done a little bit of cutting with the accordion base dies here. Now, so the accordion base dies includes this piece here, which creates your accordion sides. And I've gone ahead and die cut 2 of those. This is from Sea Glass cardstock. And then I also have die cut 2 of these. Now, these are the panels that create your inserts for the accordion. This will make a little more sense as we go, but these are perfectly sized. And the dies all create the score lines on these die cuts that you need to fold these in the perfect position. So I've created 2 accordion pieces, which are from this, and 2 panel pieces, which are from this. I'm not sure if we're going to use both panel pieces. Now, the last part of this is to create the front and the back of your card. And in order to do that, you're going to need this window cutout piece here, which is a more solid die. And you're going to need the rectangle piece. So I've gone ahead and die cut this rectangle piece. This will create the back of my card from some Sea Glass cardstock. So just rectangle piece, ran it through, that's it. Now I need to create the front of my die. And in order to do this, or the front of my card, in order to do this, I want to secure these 2 pieces together. And the reason that I want to secure these 2 pieces together is because I'm going to actually die cut 2 of them. I'm going to die cut 1 from white cardstock and 1 from Sea Glass cardstock. And that's going to give a little bit of weight to my card front and help the front of it not bow as much. So what I'm doing is I'm laying these 2 cards, or these 2 dies down, nestled into each other on my work surface. Now, here's a little trick that I like to do. I like to take the back side of my Empress mat. It is still magnetic, but it is not as magnetic as the front side with the grid. So I like to flip it over to the back. And this kind of keeps the dies from moving too much on me. So I can still wiggle them around, get them into place, make sure that there is the same kind of gutter around, or space between the 2 dies all the way around. And once I get those kind of even where I like it, then I can take some Best Ever craft tape. This is from Spellbinders, and I can hold these 2 dies together. Now the magnet mat just kind of keeps me from sliding these. If I'm on my glass work surface, a lot of times I just find that everything slides over. I touch it at all, and it like moves and all of that. So I just want to, you know, make sure that everything's secured. Also, if you're just joining, remember to go to the YouTube description below, fill out the Google form, because there are 2 giveaways during today's live stream. So now that I have those secured into place, and because these are so large, I'm actually going to take a couple more pieces and just hold them together, because I need to run this through my die cut machine twice without these coming apart. So I'm going to tape on the top and the bottom as well. Now, once I have these secured together, then I can remove them from the magnet, and I'm ready to die cut with this. So this is creating the window front of my card, and I'm going to position this onto my Sea Glass cardstock. So I'll just take that, and I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Very late to the show, says Eva. Well, welcome. We are glad you're here. We're actually just getting started because I chatted for the first few minutes. So thanks everyone for being here. We're going to create an accordion card today. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, so now we have our card front that we have die cut using both of those dies together. Now, sometimes I don't love that for a card front, especially with one that's going to have like a lot of moving parts. We'll just put it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some plain white cardstock. This is a heavyweight cardstock. You could save this oval for a second card. In fact, we will probably have stuff left over where we could throw together. I don't think we will throw together a second card today, but there will be stuff left over that we can do that with. Now I'm taking this more heavyweight white cardstock. This is an A2 size panel, so you can see that this card is actually going to be slightly smaller than an A2 size card, maybe by about 1/8 of an inch or so. And because those dies are taped together, then I can make sure that I'm cutting my window in the exact same spot on both panels. Hi, Julie, welcome. Oh, Donna, it's Concord 9th's birthday too, and I'm so glad you're here watching and enjoying your birthday lunch. I hope you're eating something good, and I hope you get a little treat today for your birthday. Maybe pick yourself up some Concord 9th products. Okay, so I've gone ahead and die cut both of those, and I could either pull these apart, but I'm going to just leave them here together just for now. So now we have all of the pieces that we need to create our accordion base card. So we actually have 2 card fronts, which we will stack on top of each other just like this in order to create some weight to the front of our card. And then we are going to use the plain rectangle as the back of our card. So this is what we have so far. We have the front, we have the back, we have the accordion sides, which are scored by the die. You can, let's see, can you see it? There you go. All right, and then we have our panel pieces that go on the inside, which also have the score lines on the side. Okay, so now with these panel pieces, what we can do is we can grab a couple of the pieces from the accordion birthday dies. And I want there to be a cake. So I'm going to do one of them with the cake. And I can just line this up. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those side or those inner panels that you've cut that have the score line on the side. So these are not the accordion pieces like we have here. These are those other panels that have just the 2 score lines on the side. And we can line up our cake die, hold that in place, and then run that through. Marta's here. Thank you for joining. Don't worry about being late, and I'm sorry that you have a migraine. I hope you are feeling better. And then I'm going to take this balloon border die, and I'm going to take it for the second piece that I cut with the inner panels. I don't know that that's the right word. Inner panels? Yeah, I think that's probably the right word. The inner panels die, and I'm going to line that up as well. You could make some of them droop down a little bit further, but we're just going to go kind of, I don't know. Let's take one of these and see where we're at. So we have the balloon dies that are actually going to line up with that too. So let's just take one of these and just kind of get it close. Maybe right there-ish. Okay? So once we get those in place, then we can grab a little bit of this, or we can just like line it up on our magnet mat. But either way, we're going to make sure that these are kind of straight across these panels, hold them in place, and then we're going to run these through our die cut machine. So we will have these panels with the perfectly marked scored lines on the edge to do our cake insert and our balloon insert, okay? Now we are definitely doing kind of an engineered card today. So we may go past the hour mark. Well, we probably will go past the hour mark, but it's going to be so worth it. And keep in mind that creating live sometimes may take a little bit longer than, you know, if you're not talking to somebody while you're doing it. Okay, so I'm running those through. You guys are all being so supportive in the comments. I love that. And then I'm going to pull these out. Okay, so now I have this panel that has the cake shape and my little score lines on the end. I'm just going to fold those so you can see them. So now I have that. And I have my balloon border piece that also has the score lines on the end. Now, the thing about the balloon, I love this balloon that's in this die set. I think it's so much fun. You can use it on its own, but think about this. Think about cutting several of these and overlaying the colorful balloons on them, okay? And then just staggering these all the way down the card. Wouldn't that be fun? Now, I'm not sure if I've like cut this down far enough. I'm gonna just, we'll dry fit it as we go in. I think Concord and 9th gave us specific dimensions and stuff of what we could cut it down to, but I'm just gonna play it by ear because that's what I do. We're playing it by ear today. All right, are we all with me? Any questions on that? Everybody loves this color combination. I am so happy that you love this color combination. I think it's gonna be so much fun and so happy. And my sister-in-law has a birthday coming up, so this may be her birthday card. And I know she's not watching because she's doing something else on a Saturday, I'm sure. All right, so here's what we can do. We can set that aside. We can set our balloon border aside, and we can start kind of pulling all these things together. I'm going to start with the accordion sides, and we're going to take on the score lines and just fold on the score lines, and we're going to reinforce with a bone folder. So we'll just go, and I have to tell you, I did watch Laura's video just on putting this together this morning, just to make sure that I had kind of a good idea. I had an idea from the email that Concord 9th sent us, but I just wanted to make sure like I wasn't doing anything wrong. So I kind of watched ahead on that. So we're going to go back and forth, and we can just kind of reinforce those score lines with a bone folder. So then we have an accordion side. All right. And then we're going to do it again for the other side. Now there's no measuring on this, which makes this really nice. Am I right? Or am I right? So I love that about this. So I'm just folding back and forth using those score lines that are created by the die. I like to kind of stick my nail in the score line to help like coerce it if they're not deep enough. And then I'm gonna, again, just reinforce the folds using my bone folder. Okay, so now we have accordion side 1 and accordion side 2, okay? See those? Boop, boop. All right, perfect. Sharon says, hi from Auckland, New Zealand. I finally caught another live with you watching while getting ready for work. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I know this is a little different time for me, so it seems to work for some of you. Let's go ahead and glue these two pieces together. So do you remember how we created a white piece and a sea glass piece? I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. We created a white piece and a sea glass piece, so let's just go ahead and reduce the number of pieces floating on our desk and get these adhered together. So I'm just going to use some tape runner adhesive to do this. I'm going to make sure I go all the way to the edge, and I'm going to go around the corners of this oval window for sure to make sure that everything gets kind of adhered. All right, so then we're going to line these up. I like to use my table. Hold on, dude, you're sticking too quick. Okay, so I'm going to line these up. and just adhere them together. And that all that's going to do is give the front of my card a little bit of weight. So it's a little heftier than, thank you for the bless yous. So it's a little bit heftier when we have this kind of going up and down. Now the next thing that we can do is adhere. So we have our front piece with the window and our back piece that's just cut with the rectangle. And so what we can do is adhere our accordions onto the back side. Now here's the deal. I'm kind of torn. I kind of want to use liquid glue for this, and I kind of want to use score tape. We're going to try score tape with the first one. We'll see how it goes. And if I don't love it, then we will switch to liquid glue. So I'm just going to take one of these accordions on one side. This is about a 1/4 inch score tape, and I don't have this linked, but you can just use a sticky tape that you have in your stash. Okay. Now here's the key when you do this. You want to make sure that you are lining this up with the edge of the card. Okay. So for those of you who like to use your Misty stamping tool, you can do that. But I'm just gonna, we're gonna wing it, because that's what I do. So I'm just gonna remove the backer from the adhesive tape here. Oh my goodness, you guys, I can't get it. But also, I wanted to tell you, it's going to be like 106 here today. Loving the interactive cards. Everybody loves that there's no math. I know. You don't have to score on your own. And keep in mind, we're using these with the coordinating birthday die set. There's also the Woodland die set. But also, you may find things in your stash that may work out. So I have the adhesive exposed. And I'm going to take this and line this up with the edge of the back of my card. Okay, so I'm just taking one corner, getting that laid down, and kind of using the edge to get everything lined up. Okay, so there it is. I aligned those two edges, and we are lined up here. Okay, that wasn't so bad, so I think I'll continue with the score tape. I was afraid that I didn't maybe get it in the right, that I wouldn't get it in the right place. And when you have something like a score tape and you need to get something into the right area, it's sometimes nice to have the slip of liquid glue. So if you're more comfortable with liquid glue, you could totally do that. I know I should stay inside, but I have to go out today. I have a few errands to run. I have to go take care of some stuff today. So I took yesterday, it was like 105 yesterday. I'm doing the same thing on the other side, by the way. So we're just repeating. It was like 105 yesterday, but I took yesterday and I like literally took a day off. And it was so good for me. I had a massage. I went and had a massage. I went to a movie with my husband. We went to dinner. So we spent some time together. I spent some time taking care of me, doing things that fill my cup, all of those things. And I feel so much better today. I was running on empty. We've had some difficult few weeks. We've had some family members in the hospital, and we've been running back and forth and trying to help with all of that. And so, you know, it's just, it takes a toll on you, you know, life sometimes. And it was time for me to just take a minute and just get myself in order. So, Laura went ahead in her video and put this on at this point. I'm torn on that, and maybe you guys can help me. We'll put this aside, because what I could do is actually go ahead and put these in first, but I don't know. And I feel like her little thing nestled onto the edge there. So now I've got to figure this out. So we're going to figure this out together. I've stopped looking at the real feel here in Central Florida. It will be hot. Oh, Adriana B, which is Cup and Ink. Let me just tell you, the Florida humidity is just so icky. Okay, I figured this out. So those little score lines, do you see how those little tabs are created? You want them folded forward, and then they nestle right into the folds of that accordion. So do you see this? This will nestle right into the folds of the accordion. So then when you put this all together, that will be suspended. Now we can move this forward, and I think I will, to the second gap. I like that because then there's a little shadow created, right? Eva has placed her Concord 9th in CW or KW order. I want to hear all about what you got. That's so much fun. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Before we do this, I think what we will do, you guys tell me, do you think I should put the front on first and then try to slide these in? The thing about that is it makes sure that all of these are not going here and there, right? Or do you think I should nestle those in and then put the front on? But like I said, I think putting the front on stabilizes those accordions into place. Okay. In the dry heat of Arizona, 110. Yeah, we're kind of a dry heat here too. So what I think I'll do is I have all of my balloon colors, and this will be where it's kind of interesting because we have, let's see, a bunch of colors, and we need to get them all in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have, okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6, but we have gold. So we could do a gold balloon in here also, but I feel like maybe it's gonna look weird. Maybe we just repeat the pink at one end. I kind of like that idea better. Okay, so let's go in rainbow order. Yellow. I'm doing a dry fit first so that we can make sure that I'm happy with the way things are going. The other thing is, I'm wondering if this blue is enough contrast to the sea glass. So do we need the smaller one here? Nestle first. I would nestle first, needle them in place front on. I'm leaning towards putting the front on, but I'm gonna see what, I'm gonna get these positioned first, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay. Let's do the pink behind. Maybe I should start with the pink in the middle. Okay. We're gonna do this. Pivot. Let's do this. I think some of these could be small or big. I think the bottom of this is such that you could put the big ones or the small ones kind of in certain places. Yellow, green. And I cut, what I did ahead of time was I cut 2 of every balloon color, and out of 2 of each size of every color. Oh my goodness. After living in Arizona for a good portion of my life, I can't do humidity. It just wears me out. I'm with you. I live in California where the heat, we do get excessive heat, but it is dry heat, just like Arizona. And I don't do humidity well at all. So that's how I roll. Okay. Do we like the pink in the middle better? Okay. I love that. Love that. Okay. Here's my next question. These colors scream, let's celebrate. I know, right? Julie loves the colorway. Julie, you always love my colorway. Have I ever? I don't know. I feel like you always love my colors. So, and I appreciate that. I love that you guys love the colors that I pick. Let's do a little ink blending on these before we adhere them all, just to add a little something, something, you know? So we're going to separate these by color. We're going to use a mini ink blending brush from Altenew, and we're going to add just some tone on tone. Oh, you know what I forgot in this? Purple, green, blue. This should be blue. I don't know. We'll do a blue one. Maybe we'll leave out Tide Pool. I don't know, because I liked it the way it was. I placed my Concord 9th order this morning and you didn't get the set. Now I'm thinking I should have. Girl, you should have waited, because I would have told you. I would have told you. So let me answer a text message real quick. Are you guys okay with that? Let me just do this real quick. I got to send a picture to somebody. There we go. All done. Okay, so we need some blending brushes, and we have our coordinating colors. Now this is definitely one of those extra steps that you could skip if you want, but I think in the long run, we're gonna like the way it looks. So we're just gonna add just a tiny bit of color to the bottom and to the side. All right. Well, I hope you guys, I know a lot of you are saying you love the color choices I pick. And so I hope that they inspire you, because really, in the end, when you're here, I have two goals. I hope that in some way it brings you some joy in your life. And I hope that it inspires you in your card making. So those are like really my goals when I come here to create with you, whether it's a pre-recorded video or it's here live on YouTube. Those are my goals. I hope that we're meeting those every time. So I hope it brings a little joy in your life. I hope there's some light that comes from being here and interacting with each other. And I hope that you are inspired to create. So thank you all. All right. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I was going to stamp the background of this card with the Christina's stamp, and I've realized that I've forgotten to do that. Now we're going to have an extra little step to do. Okay, so I'm just doing tone on tone, same color ink with the cardstock. So we're just going through here. I'm picking blending brushes that have a similar color ink on them already. I'm just using those to blend on the same color ink. Okay, a little bit of nectar. Look at how that just brings it alive. Oh, thank you, Carmen. That's so sweet. I love just how easily it is to just quickly blend on the tiniest bit of color. It's not really a lot of color at all. And it just kind of brings some dimension to these balloons. Isn't that fun? And then maybe while we have these out, I have a couple of the streamers ready to go. Let's do a couple streamers. Maybe this color. This color. That's wildberry, watermelon, and juniper. And we'll just blend kind of towards the places where these meet each other. Just do all our blending at once. Just like that. Not a ton, but enough to kind of make a difference. Okay? Wow. That made a huge difference on that little banner. Okay, let's do the wildberry. Just where they kind of twist and turn, which is where I feel like, you know, you guys know me. Oftentimes I don't really worry about where the shadow would be, but I think that this is where the shadow would be on these. So we are kind of worrying about it today, but not in an overly like particular manner. All right, let's go with those. It makes them pop. Yeah, it really does. And it's so, it's not a, like, didn't take that long to do it. I had the stuff pulled out already because I felt like I wanted to do it. And now I'm like, shoot, I forgot to stamp the back of the card. So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do this. And I think we can make it work. So let's get these taken off the sticky mat. We're going to adhere them, and then let's think about how we can stamp the background. I have an idea. We'll see if it works. All right. So let's do that. Let's get the sticky mat out of the way. Maybe wipe my hands on my shorts. All right. Wipe up my inks that's on. Do you guys see this up here? Don't want to get that. Okay, let's go ahead and adhere the balloons because we have those done. Question, do you have a preference of grip mats? Margie, I use the Ulta New one. It's the one that I have and I really like it. I also have a grip mat from Waffle Flower in my Misty stamping tool, the one that's perfectly sized for that. Ulta New also has one that fits inside the Stamp Wheel 2.0 or the Stamp Wheel. If you have a stamp wheel, you can actually take that one out of the stamp wheel and use it on its own as well. So you don't have to buy a separate one, but you would have to just keep moving it out and moving it back in. So this one was towards the middle. So we're just going to try to line these up as best we can. And we're going to have some overhanging the top that we may have to trim down. We'll see. We'll see when all of that comes to be. Kind of have to think about which one you want in front too. So I'm going to pop this up and put the purple behind the watermelon. And the liquid glue is perfect for this because it's giving me some grace in all of it. Yellow, green. Let's put the green behind the nectar. So let's pick up the nectar and pull that in. Green. Okay, this would be juniper. Wow, that is so pretty. I love that with the blending on there. I mean, from when we did it, green, blue. Oh, I see what this is going to do. We have to leave this out. Blue, purple. Let's do this. Let's leave Tide Pool out. Because I was going to throw off my order and I was going to have to rethink everything, and I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's do this. Now I've gone right over that score line, which may bite me in the booty, but we'll see what happens. Okay, and then this is going to get suspended in there. And do you see how cute and adorable that's going to be when it's all said and done? We have to get those score lines back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the score line and I'm going to bend it back just like this. Okay, now that the balloon is in place, making this up as I go along, I'm telling you. And I'm going to clip off any extra that's hanging over the score line. I'll do the same thing on the purple side. So we'll fold the score line back, trim off the excess. Okay. Then this will end up going right into these. Second one up. And we have our balloon banner. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, and I don't feel like I need to, here's why I'm thinking I'm not gonna nestle first, because I'm thinking I'm gonna get placement more where I want it if I don't nestle first. if I put the front on and then have that in place so I can see exactly what height I want everything at. Oh, I love that. I love this. Okay. Margie, I know you don't have any. I would save your money and invest in a stamp positioner. I think it's worth it. One or the other. There's pros and cons of both, but I think a stamp positioner is well worth it when you can fit it in your budget. Okay, now remember we said that we forgot to stamp this. Here's what I'm gonna attempt to do. I'm gonna attempt to lay this out. Okay, this may or may not work. I'm gonna flatten out my accordions, hold them in place, and then we're just gonna stamp right onto it. Now, obviously, ideally, we would have done this before we put the, thank you, Jen. Ideally, obviously, we would have done this before we put the accordions in place, but I got to talking and I totally forgot. There are 99 of you watching. For those of you who are coming in late, I just want you to know that we do have 2 giveaways during the live today. You have to be present to win, but there are 2 $50 Concord 9th gift cards up for grab. To enter to win, you just need to go to the Google form in the YouTube description below and fill out the form, and you have to be present to win. You have to be 18. That's all. That's all. Those are the only stipulations. Okay, this is probably not going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. If you're coming in late, you're probably wondering, what is she doing? Well, I'm doing something the hard way. We meant to do this in the beginning, and I forgot. So I'm trying to make this work even though it's out of order. So I'm going to tape this, and I'm going to tape this. Okay, and we're just going to give this is the new Woodlines background from the Christina Werner release that is new this month. We're just going to give this a little tone on tone, okay? It's probably not going to be perfect. We may mess up everything, and sometimes that happens, but I think we can make this work. Okay, let's just do this. Marietta says, came late, but this card looks like so much fun. I know, it's gonna be so much fun. Okay, we just didn't get enough pressure over on these sides where our accordions are kind of in our way. So we're just gonna press a little more. And I have some air bubbles. So we're just continuing to press where we can. And I don't think it has to be perfect because I think we're gonna have enough scenery in here that it's, you know, it's gonna be fine. But if you're remaking this at home, stamp it first. Okay, now we'll just like rework the accordions back into place. All right. So now that wood grain will be like the background of our scene. And we'll have that nice in there. 9x12 Ultra Sticky Matte. It's on sale for $29.99 instead of $49.99. That's so awesome. And I have a link to it in the description below, that 9x12. So if you're looking for something like that, I do have it linked over at Alta New. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that deal, Miriam. We all do things the hard way sometimes. I know. Isn't that the truth? Okay, we're going to add some double-sided adhesive to the front side of our accordions now. And the reason, while I agree that it would be nice to nestle first and then put the front on, I also think that putting the front on is going to stabilize the accordions in such a way that it will allow me to more easily place the panels that are in the inside, but also will help me position them top and bottom wise in the way that I want. So that's why we're going to do it this way after going back and forth. So we're peeling off. We're going to do one side at a time, okay? So we want to make sure, again, just like we did with the back, that the front is lined up with the edge of this accordion. And maybe we just put it on our, sometimes I like to Amelia Bedelia this kind of stuff. And sometimes I make it harder than it has to be. So let's just do this. Let's get that corner lined up there. And that corner lined up there. Okay. Corner to corner. Let's see. I'm trying not to get my head in your guys' way too. So corner to corner there. And then we'll push it down. All locked and loaded in regards to the Google form. Awesome. So glad. Okay, and then we're going to do this again, corner to corner. Okay. Let's see. So corner to corner, corner to corner, and then press into place. Just take a second to make sure you get it all lined up so that nothing's wonky in the end. Okay, boom. Okay, now you'll be able to flatten this and put this in an envelope, and then it will pop up. And again, we talked about this in the beginning, but for those of you who are just coming late, this will fit in an A2 size card, or an A2 size envelope. All right, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and put some liquid glue on our balloon banner that we created. And let's slide it into place. I don't want to do the very back one. I want to do the second one up. So I'm just going to slide this and make sure that those folds are nestled into the folds of the accordion. I can look at it from the front, make sure that I like the positioning up and down wise. Okay. Let's see. See, that's a little low. So we'll do that. And then I'm just gonna like smash it down and hold it into place. Krista says, this is so cute, I need to place my order. JJ says, first time catching one of your lives. Hello from Amarillo, Texas. Well, hello. So glad you're here joining me live. That's so much fun. Okay, so now we have that kind of suspended in there. See that? So fun. Lots of dimension here. But the card overall is not going to be huge. Okay, so now we have our cake panel. So we die cut this at the beginning, and off screen, I die cut my cake layer pieces from some ivory cardstock. This is antique ivory from Hero Arts. And I'm going to grab a picker tool to help me pick these up and put them into place. And let's see, there is one side that is right and one side that, let's see, is this correct? Yeah. Okay. And then layer 2 and layer 3. Just like that. Okay. So we have our cake panel. And then we can add, I need your guys' help. Do we want chocolate frosting, or do we want pink frosting? You guys can let me know. Pink or chocolate. And while we decide on pink or chocolate, just let me know in the comments. Stamping the background was worth it. I know, doesn't it add just a little bit? And I think there's kind of a spot in the middle, but my cake is gonna cover that, I think. In the end, you're probably not gonna see a ton of it, but I think it's gonna be enough that it's gonna be fun. Okay, so we're gonna put our cake on the very front one. I feel like you might need to be adjusted, but it might be a little late. Okay. So let's put our streamers. We can actually put them, I feel like we could go from one panel to the other. I don't know, it's bending a little. So let's see. Needs to go in at an angle for sure. Okay, so maybe we put them in the, maybe we put one in the far back and one up front. Both look great. Why don't do, I don't think I want to do both colors of frosting. Hello, pink frosting. Pink chocolate, both. look great. Pink, both pink, 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 both chocolate for contrast, pink, pink, pink. We have, I think, more pink than chocolate. Okay, so we'll probably go with pink. They both look good, I agree. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna take this juniper banner. I'm gonna actually grab some tweezers for this. I'm gonna grab it here and I'm gonna put it in the very back. So I'm just kind of dropping it in from the top here. And once I get it where I want it, I'm gonna just squeeze for a few seconds. Let that set up. Okay, that's so cute. And then I'm gonna take, I think, since we're gonna do pink frosting, let's use the purple banner more towards the front. We can drop it in from the top. You could, as I said, you could wait to put your card front on, but I wanted to be able to see where all of these are gonna sit in my window, which is why I did the card front at first. I think Concord 9th actually recommends that you put the stuff in first. Okay, that's cute. So once I get that where I want it, I will take some liquid glue on the back. And again, we're gonna drop it in on the same layer that our balloons are, but these definitely have to go in at an angle to make them work. If you're trying to put them straight across, they're not gonna slide into place. So we'll just do this. And this. I'm just kind of looking from the side. Okay. Squeeze it down, let it set up. I'm late arriving today, but I'll catch some live and then watch the rest later. Yes, I love that. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so you see all those different layers of all the things. We have the juniper in the back. We have the wild berry a little further up. Now we're gonna work on our cake. We're gonna put some liquid glue at the top of each layer. And we're gonna add our pink frosting because that's what you guys voted. There's also a different cake topper that has the word yay on top, so you could use that instead. There are also presents, presents. When I talk a lot, I get really I need to burp. Isn't that weird? My husband thinks I'm weird, but when I must swallow a lot of air when I talk. Okay, so we're gonna do pink frosting. And this guy for sure is gonna go at the front panel of our accordion. So it's going to go in the very front of the accordion. We're just going to fold these back. Definitely need to purchase this bundle. Isn't it cute? So the bundle, the birthday bundle, has the cake. Oh, look at how much dimension that cake by putting it in the very front has. Love that. So this bundle has the birthday set and then also the sentiments. And then the accordion base dies, I think, are sold separately. I'm not sure that there's a bundle with all of them. The shading on the streamers really shows up. I agree. My other thought is we could take a gold streamer and put it in here as well. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's too much for this. We'll see in the end. So I really love where this cake is. We're just going to glue it and call it good. And we're going to go in from the front bottom because that seems to be the easiest. So we're just tucking those folds into the folds of the accordion. So you see the fold of that cake panel is going into the fold of the accordion. And then I'm just pressing these down to let it grab. And boom. Oh, wait, hold on. We didn't boom. Hold on. We just need to fix this because he's a little tight here. Hold on. All right, little guy. It got a little bendy because I didn't get the folds into the folds. So we're learning things together, right? Okay. Folds into the folds. Just like that. Isn't this a fun card? I love this set. I think it's just a lot of fun. And this guy just does not want to tuck in there. I think the key to these not warping is getting them all the way in to the folds into the folds. Otherwise, this kind of wants to warp. But the other thing that you could do, hey, yo, stay there, is you could just cut out the cake and glue it right here to the front of this. So if you wanted to snip this and you didn't want to deal with it, but the benefit of, hold on, I'm going to fix this guy. He's just wanting to be a little silly with me. I think the benefit of leaving the banner across there is now we have a place to put some presents if we want them. So there's that. Wasn't going to buy anything but couldn't resist after seeing how cute this is. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. Such a clever design. It is a fun and clever design. Okay, so now we have that. We have all these different like levels. And honestly, what I've learned from this, and my balloons are arching a little forward. They should be a little further back. But what I've learned in this, and I have a little glue on the front of this one. I think what I've learned is if you don't get those creases of the panels nested into the crease of the accordion, they arch forward just slightly. See that? I'm slightly not all the way into the corner on this one. So that's why I think we're getting the arch on the balloons. We could try to fix that. We could rip it. It could be a whole thing. Dare I? I'm going to just try to see if I can pull it up. If I feel like we're going to ruin everything, I may stop. But I also feel like maybe I can do it. And I think that that is the key. As I'm putting this together for the first time, I'm learning with you guys. I mean, I had a basic idea of where we were going, how we were doing this. But I think that what I'm learning is if you don't get that fold tucked all the way into the fold of the accordion, that's when it wants to really arch forward. So we just released that. We'll add a little more liquid glue. And hopefully this is helping all of you who just purchased this so that when you go to make it, you know exactly what you need to do. We're going to tuck all the way into that fold. And you see it's already pushed it back a little bit and kept it from arching. So that gave me a little more dimension there. Love it, love it. The only thing is we have a balloon sticking out of the top. Okay. So get the fold of these panels into the fold of that accordion and I think you'll be okay. And now we have a little purple balloon coming out of the top. So we're just gonna hold this shut and we're gonna trim him off and all is well in the world. Okay, so now we have, it's helpful to learn before the order arrives. I agree. And Concord 9th is really good with their monthly videos of showing all these in action and kind of showing the assembly of these things. And so, like I said, I had watched Laura's video to kind of figure out the basics of it. And then I thought, okay, I have enough that I've got it figured out and we'll just see what happens. And then what we can do is do a couple little gifts. Now, I do know that this card is going to be for my sister-in-law. So what I'm thinking is that we do these two colors, which is the nectar and the wild berry, because we already have some watermelon down here. We can bring the wild berry in again, so it would be like in 3 places. And then I have nectar, but when I'm looking at the balance of these colors, and here's where we're going to do a little color teaching. This is Carissa's theory on color. I see juniper, juniper, and I'm thinking we need one more juniper to kind of even out the 3s. Just like that. So we have our juniper streamer, our juniper balloon that's coming in. So 1, 2, and then we'll do like a gifts down here and 1, 2 gift. So we have kind of a triangle of colors. We have our colors repeated a few times. And before we adhere these, let's just take our blending brush that has the color left on it still and add just a little bit of shading to the gifts. And then we'll add our little gold bows. All right. You guys doing okay out there? Thank you for all your tips. Yeah, we're learning together today. And I thank you all for being here. For those of you who have come in late, don't forget to enter the giveaway. I have two $50 Concord 9th gift cards to give away. Today, during the live, you have to be present and you have to be 18. That's the only catch. For you watching on replay, you can leave a comment at the comment section on YouTube and be entered to win one more $50 gift card code. And I'll draw the winner on August 14th. All right. And then also I have links to all these things in the YouTube description below. So if you want to use my links, they're there for you. And I've linked all the cardstock colors for you as well. So if you're coming in late and you're wondering what colors I'm using, I have those down there as well. If you go in the YouTube description and you click the visual supply list, you'll be able to see the supplies with their photos. Handmade card, Happy Heart says, hi Carissa, I'm tuning in super late in Belgium and we just had dinner. We'll definitely check the replay. Well, thanks for joining. So glad you're here. Okay, so let's do a little bow on each of these. I'm going to do it offset on that one. And you can use, I think I'm going to sneeze again. That's been a theme today. Excuse me. You can use these as like little bows on like ribbons. And I didn't do that. And I'm okay with that. Like they're there. You could also use them as box tops. They're there if you want to use them. I decided not to today. If you love die cutting, this set is so for you, like so much for you. I think what I'll do is actually place these on. So we have that crossbar in there for our cake, right? That's on the very front one. On the back side of that crossbar is where I think I'm going to glue this gift. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of liquid glue to the bottom of this, and I will place it right there-ish. Okay, oops, sorry, got you out of the frame there for just a second. And then the blue one, the juniper one actually, we can do right there. So they're actually on the back side of that bar instead of the front side, so it won't cover my cake at all. I could do it on this side. Maybe he needs to go long ways. Just playing with this for just a second. Okay, I think maybe we go long ways with the juniper one. I like it. A little bit of glue. Just like that. Okay. I'm just holding it there while the glue kind of sets up. Question, I was just wondering, will you teach a class for us on how to pick colors and color combinations? You are the queen of color and sparkle, of course. Handmade card, Happy Heart. I have a whole, basically a virtual class outlined to create like a card class or a color class. I have a name for it. I have the outline. And it is in my goal. It is in my goals to do that. So it would be like you would pay and have exclusive videos. I'm not sure the price. I think I have 7 days worth or something. But anyway, you would have access to exclusive content for colors. I just haven't like buckled down, picked my products and like filmed. So I really need to do that. And also part of the reason that I've been intimidated by the whole thing is I really don't know how to do like the access and have the place for it to land on the internet. So that's kind of that's kind of my big hang up, is the time to film it, and then also where to land it on the internet and how to coordinate all that. So, okay, so we have our cake, we have our gifts, we have our balloons, we have our banners, all of them at different like levels within this accordion. And then it can squish flat so that you can put it in an envelope, and then it pops up. And of course, it will sit nicely on display on a desk or on a mantle or on a kitchen counter or whatever that might be. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys some options. So what you can do is you could write your sentiment on the back here, which would be great. We're still going to do a sentiment, so we're not quite done. But I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm going to grab, this is going to be an A2 size card, but keep in mind that this card is slightly smaller than an A2 size card. So the accordion base dies create something that's slightly smaller than an A2 size card. So what I would recommend is like just taking this, do you see where we're at here? So you can just trim this down. I'm going to go with like 1/4 of an inch on each side. So let's do this. Let's cut 1/4 inch off the bottom. You know, this trimmer's not big enough to do this. That mini trimmer is great for like sentiments and stuff, but when I need to cut something on a card that's a little bit bigger, the measurements just aren't there for me. So let's go with 1/4 plus 1/8. So that's 3/8 off. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys love that idea of the color class. Okay, I've got to do it. I know. It's like I said, it's just me. I'm a one-man show. And then what you can do is you can put this card base on the back and have a place to like open up and write your sentiment or your personal message, and then it would be attached. So you could do that. Or you could just write on the back. Or you could just put a panel on the back and it wouldn't even have to open. But that's kind of how it would be. You wouldn't see it from the front because you have that backer piece. So totally up to you. If I was going to do this, I would just take some tape runner, go on the entire thing. And again, I just took well, let's put it at the top. Let's put the opening at the top. I would just squish this down, make sure everything's flat, get it all lined up, and then push it down. Okay, so now we have an opening card on the back. It is a very special card, but I think we need a sentiment. Don't you all think we need a sentiment? There are all of these. Hooray for today. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate. So we could either do like a banner that arches upward or a banner that arches downward. So we're going to do a couple of these. So let's grab some hammer mill scrap, okay? I'm going to die cut a couple. Oh, let's bring this back in so you can all see how adorable it is. You know what? And honestly, I feel like this card is super cute because the products are designed well. I mean, there's nothing, good product really makes something like this easy. I mean, there was some die cutting involved. We spent a little time figuring some things out, but you've learned along with me today. And now we know that we can just create one of these in the future, and it's going to be so easy. And give yourself some grace, because I feel like there's a muscle memory to interactive cards like this. And when you kind of do it the first time, you feel like a little clumsy with it. But I think as you figure it out, you get so much better at it and it's so much easier. So we're going to stamp 3 of these because we don't know which one we're going to use. Let's celebrate, happy birthday, or hooray for today. I'm going to stamp them all in sea glass ink. Happy birthday, Donna Marie. That's what you want the sentiment to be, huh, Donna Marie? I love that. My sister-in-law, her birthday's on the 19th, and so she needs to be spoiled this year. So this one's for her. Okay. Recipient will love this. I know, and all you have to do is change the colors. Maybe take out the pink and the wild berry and replace it with some red, and you could have a masculine card. This is totally something that you can do for a masculine card. Okay, so back to the die set that we've been using all along to add all of our fun things. We're going to use, I have ink on my surface now. We're going to use this one to die cut these. And we're going to use this one. I'm thinking white is going to be what we're going to do. I want it to have a little contrast off of the front of the card. I don't want everything to be sea glass. Definitely a color class. Wow, you guys are like, you're wanting that. Okay. Loud and clear. Heard. Check, check. What I need to do is just set aside a week and just say, I am not leaving this craft room until I get this done. And just go with it. Like I said, the outlines are done. Every day is planned. I just need some time to put it all together. So beautiful. Yes, she will love this card. Very versatile, at least having the accordion. You can use it for birthday. You can use it for wedding. Yeah, you can use it for a shower. Oh my gosh, the sky's the limit. I agree. I would, if I was going to do this for like a bridal shower or something, I would change the colors to maybe the color of the wedding. I might nix like the balloons, but keep the cake and the gifts. And like I said, there's probably some dies that you have in your stash that would really work in here as well. So some like little addition dies that you could kind of do. And I'm thinking something like that. I think that's so cute. Okay. So that one's the upward curve. Let's try one with the downward curve and see where we would put that. And then we can decide which one we want to do. Okay, if you're coming in late, don't forget to fill out the form, the Google form, for the giveaway. We have 2 $50 Concord 9th digital gift card codes to give away during the live and 1 for the replay. So if you are joining in late and you have not gone over and filled out the Google form yet, you need to do that so that you're entered to win the prize. Okay, we could do this. Okay, I need to take a second to just look at this and process it. So this one pulls all the weight to this lower corner here because we have our gifts, we have our cake, and all of this kind of feels like bottom heavy. I kind of am digging this upper, kind of offsetting the weight of that here to that upper right, so that we kind of have that. It kind of draws some attention to the balloons. And also, I don't have to worry if this hangs over a little bit that it will interfere with this sitting on like a work surface or a counter surface or something. So I think I'm going to go upper left for my sentiment. And I'm going to use foam adhesive to layer these up. Now, this is the only place that I've used foam adhesive on this entire card. I think it will still be fine in the envelope, but honestly, I know that I'm giving this in person, so I'm not really super worried about it. All right, everybody says yes to the top, and we kind of talked through why that works. I have a question for you guys, because you've all talked about the color class, which, like I said, I have planned. Would you like for me to film it live style like this, where I'm filming in real time and talking you through things like I do here on my live stream? Or would you like them to be more like pre-recorded, edited voiceover videos? Which would be shorter videos, but I feel like I can really, if I'm filming in real time, I didn't want to take that off yet, so let's put this back over that. If I'm filming in real time, I can take a little more time to kind of explain things. Do you know what the code is? Kim, I don't know what code we're talking about. Did I miss something? Was there a code available for the cardstock bundle? I thought I saw one earlier today and now I can't find it. Oh, I don't know what the code is. I don't know that I got that. Live, real time, as long as you talk through your mental process for selecting. Yeah, it would be easier for me to talk through that real time. Maybe we'll do like kind of a hybrid where I talk through the theory of my color selection in real time and then create the cards with you in like okay, thank you, Valerie. C9 turns 10. C9 turns 10 is the code for the cardstock bundle. So thank you for sharing that. And then, of course, I have links to all of this release in the YouTube description below. So for those of you just joining. Okay, so we have foam adhesive. We're going to do that. I love this. I love this so much. Okay, I'm just kind of lining it up. And there we have the most adorable card. You know, it's just not a card by me until we have, when is the live Google giveaway? Jane, it's at the end. Oh, it's a Jennifer McGuire code. Okay, so that wasn't shared with everybody. It's just, there we go. Let's do this. And let's do just a few like little sprinkles of shine kind of throughout. Maybe we'll do one on the cake. This is just some confetti. Gotta have bling, perfection. So cute. Love this card. If you're looking for the form to fill out for the Google form, the link is in the YouTube description for that Google form for the giveaway. Let's see, where do we want these? 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's do one right here. And then let's get a smaller one and go up here. Okay, I think that's where we will do them. So we have one on the cake, we have a couple here, we have a couple here, and one on the balloon. Just kind of sprinkling them throughout. And I will be doing the giveaway here in just a few minutes. So if you have not filled out the Google form, go to the YouTube description now, fill that out. We're giving away, Concord 9th is actually giving away 2 $50 digital gift card codes, and then I'm giving away one more on the replay. So if you're watching on the replay, you won't fill out the Google form if you're entering on the replay. You're just going to leave a comment in the comment section, and I'm going to pick a winner from those. Okay. All right. I think that's our card, everybody. We have a fun color palette. We have a little bit of texture in that background with that stamping from that new Woodline background. Woodlines, is that what it's called? Woodlines background stamp from Christina Werner. So you can see that texture that's there on the background, a tone-on-tone stamping. And then we have all that dimension in the card with various levels, which is so much fun because it brings this card to life. So let me do this. We got stuck to the back there. Okay, there we go. Isn't that fun? And I love that it's all kind of different depths throughout. it will squish down to go in an envelope. So we're about that thick to go in an envelope, and then pop right back up when it comes out. Isn't that fun? Love this. You struggle with where to put the bling. Okay, let me talk you through that a little bit. Who was that? Aline says she struggles where to put the bling. Here's what I recommend. I bring it through my design so you can see that I definitely have like this situation going on here, right? Upper left to lower right kind of pattern throughout the card. The other thing that I make sure that I do is kind of do it in groups of 3, and they kind of make a triangle. So you have a triangle here and a triangle here. So there you go. I put 2 closer together and 1 a little further away. Concord 9th really does have the best products. They have great products. One of my favorite things is the inking of the banners. I wouldn't have thought of that, and it makes them. Yes. Doing that little bit of dark ink where those overlap, I think really brings those to life. Definitely, I could have gone a little heavier on the blending on the balloons. It still did bring a lot of dimension to them, but you can see how as it dries and fades in, you kind of get a little bit of softening of that ink. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second. If you have not gone over and filled out the Google form, you need to do that now because we're getting ready to draw those winners. You have to be present to win, so make sure that you respond in the live chat to let us know that you're here. And does anybody have any questions while we give everybody just a second to go over there and fill that out? Don't forget to subscribe here on my channel. Turn on the notifications. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And I do have all the products linked in the YouTube description below. What sequins are you using? Couldn't find it in the supply list. I did not think I was going to use them. It's just some sparkling clear confetti from Pretty Pink Posh. So I didn't know I was going to use them, which is why they are not linked. I really like the dimension you've added with the shading on the banner. Awesome. Beautiful card. The inking makes a world of difference. Thank you. Love this. This is too cute. Awesome. I love that you guys love this. And like I said, we created that folding card on the back where we can write a personal message. So this is easy to kind of open up right in here. And we did learn a few things along the way as we created today. Let me have a sip of coffee. And then I'm going to go over to our Google Forms. And we're going to pick a couple of winners, and you guys are going to answer me in the comments, hopefully. Laura Lee Cosgrove says, hey, Carissa, I'm working on your bonus cards from the SCT event. Love your class so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're loving that. Thanks for another great video. Oh, Anne says glossy accents on the icing. I think that would be fun, but I would do it after we're done with the live because I don't want to mess it up. And I really need to get my head in there. So let me grab this is my keyboard that you guys love so much when I use it. And we're going to go over. Could easily be on a 5x7 base too. Well, I don't know if that would work, Michelle. You could try it, but it really is smaller than an A2 size card and kind of meant honestly to be the accordion on its own. So then you would have like this just popping up in the middle of the 5x7 card base, but you could totally try that. Okay, let me go over here and we're going to go to the forms. We're going to go to random.org and we're going to pick a couple of winners. Need to see how many responses we have. Okay. So I'm just all right, so our first winner is, let me just double check the number here. Have to be present to win, so make sure Lynette Wong. So Lynette Wong is our first winner, and I'll pop over to the comments in just a second. I'm going to generate a second winner and go to that one. So Lynette Wong and Margie Wren. Okay, so Lynette and Margie. I know Margie's been here most of the morning. Is that my keyboard? It is my keyboard. So, are you here? Margie and it was Lynette, right? Wong. Margie Rin is still here. I see her in the comments. Let me see if our other friend is here. I'm just looking through the comments right now. I got to go back and make sure I had her name right. Hold on just a second. And you guys let me know if you see him in the comments as well, because I'm between two programs right now. And so oops, it switched. Lynette Wong and Margie Ren. Okay, so has Lynette answered? You know, oh, there she is. Lynette's here and Margie's here. Oh my goodness, yay, you're both here. Awesome. Okay, so how you're gonna claim your prize is you are gonna email me at Carissa@sprinkledwithglitter.com. So it's 1 R, 2 S's. You're gonna email me from the same email address that you entered on the Google form. I'm just gonna verify that it's you. And I am going to have Concord and 9th send over your prizes to you. So it's obviously the weekend, so it'll be probably sometime next week that they actually get those processed and sent out. So have some patience with them. But congratulations, Lynette Wong and Margie Ren. I am so happy that both of you are here, and both of you have been commenting along, so that's awesome. All right. Anybody have any questions for me? Do you want me to show you the Christina Werner release real quick? I could do that real quick because I have it sitting here. Of course, we have the Woodlines background that I shared with you earlier, but I have the rest of her release. We walked through the Concord and 9th release at the beginning, but we have the Sending Trio dies and Sending Trio stamps. So you have a couple of Sending die cuts. You have some Sending stamps. It looks like that stamp coordinates these two stamps. Actually, all three of these coordinate with the shadows for these. And then you have the little strips which cut out all these additional sentiments here. And then there is thick and thin thanks dies. So this is the same, it looks like the same kind of design, but one's thicker than the other one. And they both have a shadow die. So those are thanks dies. Of course, with Thanksgiving coming up and all that, you can never have too many thank yous, right? Miss the live, we'll go back and watch. That's the cutest keyboard I've ever seen. I do have it linked in some of my previous live stream descriptions as well. And I'll try to link it after we're done here. This is the Thankful Leave stamps, and it has the stencils and dies as well. It looks like to me that these dies are not sized for this background. And the cool thing about this is I know that it coordinates with the stencil set here. So you have some stamps and stencils, stencils only, and then stencils only here. So it shows you how these look combined with the stamps or just with the stencils on their own. But of course you have all of these sentiments that come in this stamp set as well, which have the coordinating dies. And these are all Christina Werner's release, so you can use the link to go over to Concord and 9th and shop there, and that will track my affiliate as well if you're looking to do that. So you have these. I love the idea that you can actually just stamp 1 or 2 of these leaves, mask off some of them, and use this either as an entire background, which looks like it would fill up a 5x7 card, or you could use like the whole thing. So I think it's so cute. Love that. And then there's the Botanical Shade stencils. So just a really fun, beautiful pattern. I love these 6x9 stencils that Christina does because, oh, the dies don't leave a white border. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you could probably stencil the color onto them and then use those dies to cut them out. I haven't watched her video yet. But I love these 6x9 stencils because you can really get 2 cards out of them. So you could do this entire background, cut it in half, and have a nice mat for an A2 size card. Then of course the easy strips. So these cut all, this is shown at 80%, but you get, if you run this through on a piece of cardstock, you get several different widths of cardstock strips. It looks like you have 3 of the smallest, 3 of the next size, 3 of the next size, and then 2 of each of the larger sizes so that you can make some colorful strip backgrounds, and you can cut a bunch of strips at once. So I would do this with my favorite colors or my favorite color combination. You could create several cards with just running this through your die cut machine at once. Okay, and then finally, we use the Woodland stamp background already. And so the final part of this is the circle thin frames dies. Christina's been doing a lot of the thin frames, and I love them because they are such a delicate and beautiful thing. But keep in mind, you could use these for windows on your cards, and you could use the center portion of these circles so you get not only the frame, but you get a circle out of that as well. So super fun. And I'm sure she's done really something smart with the sizing because she is a card maker. And so she thinks about those things when it comes to sizing. So that's a look at the full August release from Christina Werner. And I'm sure I will be creating with more of this as the month goes on. Something I did want to let you all know is that I will be live again, I believe. I'm thinking on Monday. So Monday at 1 p.m., make sure that you have the notifications turned on here on YouTube so that you don't miss that. And make sure you're following me on Instagram as well, because I give all my updates there. So I give a lot of updates in my stories. So thanks all of you for joining me. Don't forget, if you're watching on the replay, give this a thumbs up, subscribe, but also make sure you enter to win that last giveaway for a $50 digital gift card code from Concord 9th. You have to enter by leaving a comment before August 14th. I'm going to choose a winner on August 14th, and one of you will win a $50 digital gift card code. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to head out and get some errands done on this lovely Saturday. I hope you are all staying cool where you're at. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.